You're listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Each week, we'll feature voices and ideas that need to be amplified in the higher education and pro-AV IT communities. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. And now here's your host, Ryan Gray.
Well, hello again, everybody, and thank you for coming back to another episode of the AV-IT Amplifier. I'm your host, Ryan Gray, as per usual, and we are back for week 2 with my friend, and I hope now, after hearing his voice and his passion, maybe your friend too, Chief Payne of Yavapai College. Real quickly, Chief, welcome back to the show. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Who are you, and what do you do?
Ryan, thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I'm a Chief Tyran Christopher Payne. I'm the Chief of Police for the Yavapai College Police Department. 30 years law enforcement experience, 20 and some change of that in Yavapai County, 10 of that in the United States Army Military Police Corps.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you very much.
And if anybody's hearing this that didn't hear last week's episode with Chief Payne talking about the philosophy of policing, please go back and hear it, because you'll know why. You'll know why I love the guy as much as I do. And like I said, any day that I know I've got something where you are on my agenda, it always makes me feel excited. You do an amazing job of everyone is excited to see you when they see you.
I appreciate that.
Why?
Because I pay them.
That's not true. You don't pay me nothing.
Your check's it's on the way.
No,
it's a little delayed.
I'm seriously Chief.
Yeah.
All right, let's ask another question. Is that something you're doing on purpose, something you've cultivated, or something that just comes through you?
My father is that way. I can honestly tell you, in the time I've known my father, I've only seen him angry once. Mm-hmm. He just carries himself with a charisma and just a passion for life that it is really hard to upset him. And we had a conversation one day, and he just told me, you know what, Ty? You have control over the first half of your day. When you wake up, you need to start your day off thinking and being thankful for the things that you have in your life that you are thankful for. And I've taken that to heart. So I really try each day to set my mindset in a way that I present approachable.
Yeah.
That's a guy I want to talk to, or that's a guy I don't mind talking to, or, hey, let's spend some time together. I love to listen to people, and I just enjoy interacting and engaging with people. So I'm thankful to you for saying that that it is what I bring to human interaction, because that's what I try to do each day.
Yeah.
So
well, it comes across. It really is palpable. I'm jealous of it. I really am, because it's the same sort of thing that I try and think, like, working in technology is, the stereotype of people in IT is introverted, and there's a reason for that. There are jobs in IT where you spend all day looking at a computer. It needs people who thrive on that sort of thing.
Yes.
And so sometimes I feel like the odd man out, the odd extrovert in an introvert, but it's so important to that, to doing that sort of thing. And it ties back in so well to, your approach to the service that you provide, being led by somebody who thinks people first.
And there you go. That's the important piece. If I don't present that as chief of police, how can I expect my team to do this? So I'm a servant leader. The position I hold, I work for my team. They don't work for me. We work together. That's why I call them, they're my team members, because I'm here to provide them with the tools, space, and opportunity they need to be successful. Yeah. And that's how I carry myself each day. Yeah. So
that comes across from you. I'll briefly tell a story. When this past year we did, the college-wide engagement, staff and employee engagement survey, and there were different results in different places and all that, and your department, the police department, came in as one of the places where basically employees reported high levels of feelings of belonging, feelings of significance, and that sort of thing. And I remember at the time people going, well, people should probably talk to Ty and figure out what he's doing over there to make that happen. And I remember sitting there going, oh my God, it's obvious. Do your people feel really welcome there because you let them wear jeans on Friday, because you have a pizza party every once in a while? Or is it something more core to how you go about everything you do?
I have to think it's something more core.
Yeah.
And I've learned in my travels, every leader that I've had in my career that is taking care of me, I've broken my back to make them look good or take care of them.
Yeah.
So I really try to function in a servant leadership type of role. Mm-hmm. I really try each day to make sure my team understands that I'm here for them. Mm-hmm. They can talk to me. Mm-hmm. My door is open. I have sergeants, so we don't want to always skip them. Mm-hmm. But I check in with my team members. If I see one of my police officers in shift exchange or they're going home, we stop and we have a conversation.
Yeah.
It's not just a pass by, have a good day, get some sleep. No, let's engage for a minute. I'm not going to keep you. I know you're tired, but that's important. Mm-hmm. And I've also found that leadership, true leadership, effective leadership is intentional. You have to show up each day ready to navigate the different personalities. Mm-hmm. Not everyone is the same. So I've learned to adjust my leadership styles and philosophy to each individual team member within the police department. So I don't interact with Officer Dvorak the same way I'll interact with Detective Felton.
Yeah.
Because they're two different people.
Yeah.
And when you do that, they recognize that you genuinely care. It's about getting them to understand that I'm here for them, to build those relationships, so they feel comfortable in doing their job and showing up each day as well.
Yeah. No, so what you just heard was the primer on effective leadership of a team, a group, or whatever. Like that's, you should either write a book. You should be in charge of all. It's like I could not agree more. And the thing is, because a lot of the things you've just said are things that I say. Mm-hmm. What is very clear is that you and your department, it's reflected in real life. You're doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And it's amazing to watch. So that's been awesome. Okay. What can you think of a time? What's a time that you've really laughed hard, or what is something that makes you laugh every time it comes up?
That's a good question. So I have an 18-year-old, and he likes to challenge my intelligence every chance he gets. Yes. So this is a true story.
Okay.
My boys are all athletes. They've got a bunch of state titles for soccer. My oldest even played semi-professional soccer as an adult. So when they were children, they loved to go outside and play. Well, my youngest, my current 18-year-old, he's sitting on the couch watching National Geographics, and his brothers are out back. I have 4 boys and a little girl, and they're all out back playing soccer and playing football and just doing it up. And so I step out and I look and I see him watching, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to say anything. He's watching something educational and just let it go. And I'm like, you know what? No, it's a nice day. He should be outside with his brothers playing. Yeah. So, and this holds true to this day. I just tap him on the shoulder and I say, hey, why don't you go back and play? Your brothers are all outside having a good time. How are you going to get good like them at soccer if you're not out there practicing? You're not going to go pro. You got to get out there and you got to practice.
Right.
Come on now. Legit. Doesn't miss a beat. Doesn't even look at me. Keeps looking at TV. And I can't remember how old. He was young. Mm-hmm. He goes, Dad, why would I want to make the team when I can own the team?
Oh, yes.
What do you say to that? I just turned around and went on about my business because there's.
I love that.
Yeah. So and he's been that way ever since.
Okay. Well, we're on a different level.
Yeah.
I'm going to see myself out now.
Exit stage right.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
that's fantastic.
That makes me laugh often.
Yeah.
That lives in my head rent free.
Well, then I think when he owns his own team, you're going to be able to retire. Then.
Oh, I hope so.
That'd be awesome, wouldn't it? I keep asking my daughter's 18. I keep asking her, when are you going to be taking care of me now?
Yeah,
Aren't we ready to change sides of this thing? Or what age should I expect that she starts funding my lifestyle?
Yeah, when they feel they're ready.
Okay.
Which I don't think it's ever going to come.
Yeah, no, that's right. No, that's cool. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to give you this is the heavy question of the one, and which is one of my favorites. Right. And you will have, it's a great question for someone in your line of work.
Okay.
Do you believe people are generally good with a proclivity for evil, or generally evil with a proclivity for good?
Oh, this is the $1 million question. Wow. So, I can say there have been times in my journey as a police officer where I have lost faith in humanity.
Yeah.
Just because I've spent a lot of my time in my career responding to the bad side of humanity. Mm-hmm. We don't always get called out when we're having something good is going on.
Yeah.
Usually it's when we're there to fix a problem.
Yeah.
Or find a solution. So yeah, there have been times where I've thought to myself, wow, this is just who people are. They're just waiting to take advantage of one another.
Yeah.
And that's all it is. We don't know what the catalyst will be. We don't know what the spark will be to ignite someone to violence. But I genuinely had a mindset of people are just inherently evil. Mm-hmm. And we just don't know what it's going to take for that one person to switch to the dark side and do something evil. As I've gotten older and I've gotten deeper into my career and I've completed my educational goals, I've started to have a shift in mindset around humanity. I believe in some cases, I teach criminology. Mm-hmm. So there's theory around, is crime a learned behavior? Mm-hmm. Is it genetic? Mm-hmm. There's even theories behind, could some criminal acts be caused because of food allergies?
Right.
There's all kinds of theories around crime. Mm-hmm. So now that I've kind of educated myself, and I'm also a mental health first aid instructor as well. So mm-hmm. I've kind of started digging into the behavioral health of humanity. I've come to think more so that people are more complicated than that. We're more complicated than that. Yes, I believe that there are circumstances that could cause someone who has never committed a crime in their life to commit an act of violence or mm-hmm. to break the law. That piece won't change with me. So that's where I am with that question.
Yeah.
It's situation and individual dependent. Mm-hmm. We are all capable of violence or breaking the law. It just depends on what's happening that day or what's happening within our lives that could be the tipping point to cause us to commit violence or break the law.
So I knew that was a good question for you, because something that you've dealt with. And so how do you then take that? I love the description of a progression mm-hmm. that you've gone through. How do you take that into your everyday life? How does that perspective of people are more complicated than that? Everyone's capable, but there's circumstances. How do you bring that into how you interact, not just in your work, but in all of your relationships and interactions?
So first piece is I'm not complacent. I've again gained an understanding a little more. I don't know everything about human nature, but I have more of an understanding, a deeper understanding of human nature, human behavior. Mm-hmm. So I really try each day to not be complacent, to look for the why. behind behaviors and actions. There's a reason this happened. Let's try and find, instead of it, early in my career, I didn't care about the why. It was, this is what you did. This is what ARS says. This is where you're going.
Yeah.
Now I try to, especially in this environment, higher education policing, I have to dig a little deeper, find the why. Is this drug-induced psychosis? Is this fatigue related? Is this because you're failing chemistry? You know, there are other things that I need to consider, and my team understand that as well. We start to look for the why, and not so much just that front line in your face. Okay, this is what happened. Okay, let's dig a little deeper and find out why this happened.
Yeah. There's like a full social work aspect to it.
Yes, it is.
At that way.
Yes, and it's always been there.
Yeah.
It's just early in your career, you don't really have the tools to navigate that.
For sure.
But as you progress and you respond to more calls for service, you, again, maybe even get degrees, gain more of an understanding of human nature and behavior, behavioral health, mental health.
Yep.
You start to realize, okay, yeah, there's a lot more going on here. You know, you maybe take a criminology class or ethical thinking class, you know, or a critical thinking class. So you start to broaden your horizons, and you just think, a little more.
Wherever you realize it's chess, not checkers.
Yes, thank you, sir. Yes, it is. It is chess, not checkers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool. All right. Thank you for that. Here's your next question. Very serious.
Okay.
Aretha Franklin, Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Adele, or Beyonce?
Whitney
Houston. Why?
Yes. Just her talent, unmatched.
Yeah.
Acapella. She just her voice was angelic. So she's missed. Definitely going with Whitney though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there are a couple of Whitney songs that are the ones because my follow-up is always, all right, what's the Whitney song that connects with? And there are a few that come up all the time. When you think Whitney Houston, that thing that goes, that connects to me, what is it?
I don't know why when you said that, I'm Every Woman popped in my head, but that was...
That's awesome. But I haven't gotten that one yet.
Okay.
That's awesome. All right, why?
I just, again, it's a song that she can express, you know, her talent just shines, you know? And then there's a song that she sings with another female artist that has an amazing voice. I can't remember her name right now. But they together, their voices just, go well. So,
that's cool.
Yeah.
That's cool. So for you, it sounds like that sort of experience of music, it has to do with the voice and what comes through in that. And the lyrics might be A or B. It may not matter that much in comparison.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luther Vandross.
Yeah.
Barry White. Yeah. Yes. Al Green. Yeah. Come on now. Yes.
Okay. So, all right. I had a question on my list that I asked early on in this podcast, and it put people on the spot, and it never really worked, which was, is there anybody you can do an impression of? Is there any voice that you like to do or something like that? So I don't know. You know what I'm saying? When Barry White, you have a little Barry White going on every day. So you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Yeah. That's my Barry White voice right there.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
I like Barry White, though. Yeah. My first, my last, my everything.
Ooh, and you can sing a little bit, too, huh?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit. Not too much.
All right, I'm going to follow up with that, but I have to ask one other thing, which is, and this is so bad. These are the things that stick in my head. Is old David Letterman did the top 10 list, and one time he did the top 10 words that sound better when Barry White says it. And the one that is always stuck in my head is jazzercise.
Jazzercise.
So would you be willing to give us the word jazzercise as Barry White?
Jazzercise.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you. Okay. So not only can you sing a little bit, I happen to know that you can dance.
Oh, I don't know. But I sing better than I dance.
Sure about that?
Lettered in high school. I was in a choir.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
People, let's not tell anybody else about that.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, all right. Because you're saying it into a microphone that's being recorded, right?
Yeah,
you do know that.
We won't tell anybody else, though.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We'll keep it that way. We'll keep it that way. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
you
can dance a little bit.
You can claim you can't dance.
Yeah.
Have you participated in any activity recently where your dancing might have been featured in some interesting way?
Yes, actually, the Boys and Girls Club. Yeah, I think we were cast 7.
Okay.
Yeah, so my Lexi, my partner, amazing artist. She came up with the idea that we should do a Michael Jackson tribute. And so, yeah, early onset, day one, there's no way.
Yeah.
But she thankfully was patient. She worked with me. And yes, some of her students came out and assisted, and it was an amazing time.
That's awesome. So the context is what you're talking about is a fundraiser for the Boys and Girls Club in our community that's called
Dancing for the Stars.
Dancing for the Stars.
Yes.
So
season cast 7.
it is a very serious thing where, as you said, people from the community and like the president of our college has been that person before.
Twice.
I know that get paired up with an actual dancer and go through a very Dancing with the Stars type thing. And then the show is the fundraiser.
Yes.
So that, like, when I heard Chief Payne is going to be doing that, I was like, that is so awesome. But also awesome of you to say yes to something like that.
And it was outside of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. But Mr. Jenkins came one day and we had a conversation, one of our vice presidents, and it's just for the community. It was for the children, you know, raised a lot of money for the kids. And it was just something that I knew would be outside of my comfort zone, but it's like, you know what, Ty, don't turn this down.
Yeah.
You know, it's just too important. So yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Thank
Okay, cool. What you spend a lot of time, and you've articulated both in a micro and a macro way, taking care of other people. Your team. You on this show, you've already talked, passionately about your role in caring for the people on your team and carry the responsibility of caring for an entire thing. How do you take care of yourself in order to continue to take care of all those other people?
That's a great question. And that piece, honestly, is probably the most important piece of what I do, because if I'm not well mentally and physically, then I can't show up each day to take care of my team members and the institution's needs. So I hit the gym regularly. I try to find things in my off time to do that aid me in decompressing.
Yeah.
Unwinding, disconnecting from my job for a minute or two. So yeah, that's very important. So yeah, I've found mechanisms to add to my life to help keep me in a space that I am well physically and mentally, which again rolls over to me providing the service that is needed to my team each day.
Yeah. And any pro tip or life hack that you could give people on that?
Yeah, well, it's individual.
Yeah.
Anything you do to take care of yourself is definitely individual. I collect comic books. So, I really, I really enjoy the thing. I don't read them though.
Right.
But I collect them. I have certain heroes that I'm just fascinated about, because I know their backstories. So it's interesting for me to, just get and put it in a sleeve and kind of put it up. So
how long have you been doing that?
Since I was 12, maybe.
Wow. And you still do it today?
I do.
What's the last comic book that you got?
Black Adam. The Black Adam. Yeah,
That's awesome.
He's my I'm really since he came back to DC, brought him back to the big screen. I'm really on
that part.
Following his story.
How many do you think you have?
I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
I couldn't even give you a number.
All right, finally then what's your favorite?
Oh, my favorite. Okay. So my favorite is I have a series of Superman unopened. This is after he died.
Wow.
And they were trying to find a new Superman. So you have the Son of Krypton, you've got Steel, you've got a couple different variations. Well, each of these sealed packets have the story of each individual trying to be the new Superman. and that's unopened. And I got that series in high school, I think it was.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're still unopened. I haven't even looked at them. I haven't read them. But yeah, that is my favorite,
thing.
Yeah.
You might be able to retire just on that right there. Who knows what that? That's awesome.
Yep.
See, this is why I'm telling you. This is why doing the show, doing the thing I love. What else would I have ever figured out? Learned that you collect comic books.
Yes.
I love. It's such a cool thing to learn. That's
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What if you're a comic book person, then because the concept of the multiverse, all of a sudden everybody knows because it's been put out there. So in the version of the multiverse where you don't end up in the military, don't end up in law enforcement, what would have been a good career, or what would you have? What's another thing you could have seen yourself doing?
I was going to say teaching, but I think teaching for me now has become a byproduct of what I've done so long. So I'm really looking to transition into being a professor in the AJS or criminal justice. But in the multiverse, another version of me, I think I might have gone into nursing.
Yes.
Nursing.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like the answers to my next question is why, and I feel like I could answer a number of them, but why?
Because even though I said I developed a kind of a weird space for humanity, thinking that all people are just waiting to take advantage of other people, I still have this care for people.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have done this for so long if I didn't. There's no way I could just stay in this if I didn't have a genuine care for the people, and service. So, I think that's why I would have gone into nursing, because I would have been in a profession that I could provide life-saving service. So, I think nursing would have been it.
As soon as you said the parallels of so day in and day out, what a proactive care of people. I'm doing that, but then there's going to be spikes of adrenaline. There's going to be critical things that happen that I have to be ready for. But the overall, as soon as I was like, oh my God, that makes total sense. You would have made an amazing nurse.
I appreciate that.
Maybe you could become nursing faculty here. I suppose you got to be an actual nurse first.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and that program is challenging. So
yeah.
But even nursing, I'm finding, because I have some friends that are nurses. Even that profession is not what you would think it is at face value. They do a lot of mental health stuff.
Tons.
They do a lot of social work. They do a lot of emotional healing. It's not just the body they're caring for. They're also trying to care for the mind. Yeah. So
you're living in that face-to-face primary care role.
Yes.
That it's the same thing that for me, I look at it and there's parts of it that feel very attractive in that way. Like I get to do that, but then the flip side of me goes but how could I do that for more than 2 days or 3 days?
Yeah.
How could you the drain that would take
is.
and those people that are built for that, I don't know. That's awesome.
But again, you have to show up each day.
Yeah.
You have to know why.
Oh yeah, your nurse. Why.
Yeah, your why has to be answered.
Yeah.
So
cool. All right. Same three last questions for everybody. First, what is a question that nobody ever asks you, but you wish people would ask?
How are you doing today?
Nobody ever asks you that?
Not often. Not as often as you think. I come into conversations asking how they are doing, but it's not the first thing. Usually when people see me, it's, oh, hey, there's Ty. Hey,
I need something. Yeah.
Maybe it's the uniform. I don't know. I'm dressed as a cop almost every day. So yeah.
I wonder, is there maybe I don't want the answer to that because the chief of police might tell me something I don't want to know is going on, or I wonder, do you see kind of like your personality? So interactions come in and people, because they know you, the expectation is already he's there to care for me, not the other way around.
I think so. And I think a lot of people assume that, well, he's a cop. He's okay.
Oh, yeah. Cops are stoic. They're, 100%. They're bulletproof.
Yes. That's a misconception.
Yeah.
Yep, we are human too. So, I think that's a big piece of it.
You do such a good job. Like, people are so glad to see, like I say, you put that out there. It's like, it would be very easy to go every day. Of course, Ty's doing great. Look, every day he's doing great. Every day he's doing great.
Yeah. Yes.
All right.
But it'd be nice.
Thank you for that. I'm on it.
Thank you.
I'm on it.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
All right. Second to last question. If there was a listener out there that heard something of interest over these last 2 weeks or wanted to reach out to learn more about you or what you do, how would somebody get in contact with you?
Send me an email, tyran.payne@yc.edu.
You got it.
Please, I'm always available.
Yeah.
And I love to engage.
If there's something you want to, this is a guy that I get to choose who I put on the show. And
Okay,
there's a
nice.
reason that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Last question.
Thanks, Brian.
And my setup is terrible, but kind of the old school newscasters used to have, close their newscast or something with a sign off phrase, So what is Tyran Payne's drop the mic sign off salutation?
Stay safe, America.
Thank you for listening to the AV-IT Amplifier. Join us again for next week's episode when we'll welcome a new guest who you'll want to hear from. We promise. Your host has been Ryan Gray. He's on the tweeters at Ryan_A_Gray, or find him on LinkedIn to connect. Please subscribe and give the show a rating and review wherever you get your podcasts. This show is brought to you by higheredav.com. The views expressed here are not necessarily those of our respective institutions, employers, or sponsors. Everyone hang in there, go easy, and we'll be back next week.